Everything's on fire, I can see. Just give me some time, hope you hear me. Everything's on fire.
Basscast number 5. I am Redex.
And I am Webev.
And today we have 2 albums that we want to talk about. One is The Wise and the Wicked by Jauz, which came out August 31st, did you say?
Yes, August 31st.
August 31st. It's been out for a little while. And then also a new album by Getter called Visceral. We are actually recording this part right now on Tuesday, the Tuesday before Visceral comes out, so we have not heard that one yet. But The Wise and the Wicked has been out for a while. I've actually got some notes on some of the songs, and I figure we can just go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
Let's just start with, alright, do you have your favorites?
Yeah. I mean, I have the ones that I really liked, and then the ones that I didn't like. Like the ones that I loved the most. I mean, probably some people don't really like these, but I mean, I absolutely loved the prologue and the chapter 2, the chapter 3. I thought those were excellent transitions.
It's funny. Chapter 2, I didn't like chapter 2, but chapter 3, that was a great song. I mean, again, I think they all have great transitions. But yeah, I really like the message and the meaning behind each chapter, even the prologue. I just love the drop in chapter 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, actually the prologue does have a drop.
Yeah, it does.
And I actually liked it.
Really?
Yeah, I like the drop in the prologue. Okay, so just a quick, this is taking a weird turn. So, The Wise and the Wicked, this is actually a 23-song album by Jauz. It's technically,
it's a big one.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's technically split up into 5 different chapters. You got a prologue and then chapters 1 through 4. I didn't really know about some of the back end stuff, but there is kind of a, I guess you would say, storyline to this CD, and Josh kind of talked about it a little bit. I think basically it's supposed to be set in a futuristic dystopia time, and there's basically splitting. There's 2 splitting classes. There's a wealthy class and a poor class. And there are different types of people. There's 2 different types of people. There's wise people who seek to save the world, and they try to create technology, and they are very smart. And I think that's kind of more, it's kind of more directed to his uplifting music. And then he's also got the Wicked, which is basically the anti-hero of the wise. They're just trying to burn down everything that the wise are doing. So hence basically the CD name is called The Wise and the Wicked. And I think I guess it's kind of like he's trying to split up each of the songs into either or. So there's 5 chapters. There's a prologue. Chapter 1 is called Discovery, and that one's more centered to the wise. Chapter 2 is called Wicked Nature. That's obviously more towards the wicked. Chapter 3, The Search for Meaning, which is more towards the wise. And chapter 4 is called Becoming United, which is, basically the two classes coming back together. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you actually, in all honesty, did you actually get into any of the sayings in any of the chapters? Were you actually buying into, whatever they're saying?
Okay, so the way that I listen to music is I just listen to it regardless of what the lyrics are talking about or regardless of what the lyrics are saying, if the song actually sounds really pretty or really good, in my opinion, then I'll like it. So, in other words, no, I did not really listen to the lyrics, or know what the lyrics are talking about. But, so yeah, to answer your question, no, I didn't really listen to the lyrics or whatever.
Well, I tried, and it's just I get that I think he's trying to be deep and try to get to a little bit different meaning, and that
Yeah.
can be cool. But on the other hand, the EDM side of Evan, I've got a side that I was trying to open up to, the deep meaning behind everything, and there's another side of Evan that just was here for the EDM, and the here for the EDM side of Evan kind of took over. And when I got to each of the chapters, I was just kind of went through the song quickly to see if there's any music at all, because the prologue, like I said, the prologue does actually have a drop, and I did kind of like that song. But the 4 chapters, they're it's about a minute long per each.
Yeah.
They don't have any music to them. It's just kind of talking.
It's like a transition to each chapter, and I guess for each chapter, the 4 songs they go through, what the chapter is talking about, and then it's okay, let's move over to this chapter, and I guess there's sayings in each one of those chapter tracks that talk about what's to come for that chapter, but
yeah, and I mean, and the problem is he probably worked hard on the little transitions like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is just you and me not being open enough to this idea. But when it comes down to it, just think about it. You're one of your favorite artists. I'm not saying Jauz is my favorite, and I don't think he's your favorite. No, I know he's not your absolute favorite. But I would say that Jauz is close to the top, somewhat close to the top for both of us.
Yeah, okay. I would say being a fan of kind of strict bass music, I kind of heavily favor dubstep and trap and future bass more than I do say house music. Now, when it comes to bass house, that's kind of the closest I will get to when I listen to house, and Jauz is basically the definition of bass house, in my opinion. On this, I mean, obviously he's visited other genres of music on this album.
Yeah, he goes all over the place on this album.
Oh yeah.
My question is though, Jauz he's not our favorite artist or DJ. I would say he's up there. You've got a mental list of artists that you're yeah, I like, or nah, I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I think Jauz is on the yeah, I like side for both of us.
Yes. He would be an artist that I would totally recommend for someone to go see who hasn't seen him or has never heard of Jauz.
Yeah. And so the reason I say that is because there could be the really really big Jauz fans out there. They might be super into this splitting up of the CD and the deeper meaning, and there could be other EDM fans that are into it. I guess it's just not for me. It's just it's not that it's too deep. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just one of those things where I just came here for some new EDM music. I don't need a deeper meaning,
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's I can understand how some artists want to express express their feelings and their thoughts through the music that they make, when some of their fans are just there to listen to the music that they can create with, whether it be a collab or whether it just be themselves trying to make a new sound, or just with their previous sound come up with a different type of sound with their previous sound.
Right.
But yeah, again, trying to express your feelings or your thoughts on certain topics. It's just not something that I'm not really interested in music wise. But like I said, I don't really listen to the lyrics or the meaning of the song. Like if it sounds like pretty, or if it sounds really good, then I'll like the song. So
Well, I think that goes without saying. And again, it's kind of, it's like, it's weird you say that, but there's a lot of artists out there that use their music to express how they feel and their thoughts on certain situations. And I mean, I just want to make it clear, like we're not saying this is a bad thing. It's just like it's not for us, I guess. And it could be, like I said, it could be, there's other like way bigger Jauz fans that were super into this, or even non-Jauz fans that were super into the deeper meaning of like the whole CD, which again is great. We're just giving you our opinion, but let's move on. Let's move on to the specific songs. Do you have your favorite?
I don't know if I have an absolute favorite. I would say that some of these songs are, the same level of interest in my particular taste of, Jauz music being his music is mainly bass house. But again, he has several collabs on this album, and he ventures out to different genres of bass music, and I will give him props for actually doing that. Like I always love when an artist does that, when they venture out from like their like when they go out from what they're normally making. But if I had to pick an absolute favorite, I honestly I don't know. I wouldn't know which one to pick.
Well, I'll just give you mine. They're both in the chapter 4.
Yeah, I would say the majority of the songs that I liked were in the chapter 4.
Yeah, chapter 4 is the biggest one. My two favorite ones were Gassed Up, which was a Jauz and DJ Snake collab, and the very, very last song, Superfly. Those were, like, I want to point out, I wrote down, there was 5 songs that, in total there's 23 songs. Take off 5 for the little, the little songs in between each section, so you've got 18 songs. So technically this is an 18 song album. I've got 5 on here that I wrote down. Yes, this is exactly what I expect Jauz to be making right now in this time and day. Meaning, like I'm thinking about everything that Jauz has made up to this point. And then now I know that he's got a new album coming out. And I've got 5 songs on here that I'm thinking, okay, this song sounds exactly like what I thought what I thought the whole album was going to sound like. And, like we talked about in the past, artists are going out and venturing out and trying new things, and I think that's a good idea. But to an extent, I mean, you got to think that, like, people that are listening to the album, they know your style of music, and they know about what they're going to get. So I try to make a note, and like I said, I have 5 songs in here. I try to make a note of the different songs that sounded like what I expected the whole CD to sound like.
Okay.
So I've got In the Zone, which is in the prologue. I've got Get With It, which is in chapter 2. And then I've got 3 in chapter 4. On Fire, Say Never, and Back Again. And all 5 of those songs I did add to my, my starred playlist, like my list of songs that I want to listen to again. So I think the songs that, I would say generally for the most part, the songs that he made that sound pretty similar to what he has been making recently, I liked all of them. That's what I would say about those.
So out of those 5 songs that you mentioned, I liked all 4, or I liked all of them except for the very last one, Back Again. Like you said, I thought In the Zone was really good. Get With It, I thought that one was really good. Now coming down to chapter 4, I think, like I said, chapter 4 I think was the best part of this album. And On Fire, I really liked On Fire, and you said Say Never, right? With Gerald LeFunk?
Yep.
Yeah. I really like those 2 songs.
Something else I'll say about this. I'm not saying those were my 5 favorites on here, because, well, obviously, Gassed Up and Superfly are my favorites. Those 5 I just mentioned are ones that, like, for lack of a better phrase, I would say those are the 5 songs that, if you came to this CD wanting, like, regular Jauz music, go listen to those 5 songs. If that makes sense.
Okay.
There's a few on here that sound eerily similar to other artists' music.
Okay.
There's one of them. Okay, so Velvet Paradise is in chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's a collab with First. I don't know if that's a group or a person. It might be a group. But Velvet Paradise literally sounds like a Jauz and Marshmello collab. It literally sounds like it sounds like half Marshmello, half Jauz. The whole song sounds like that. Another one, Keep the Rave Alive, sounds eerily similar to Feed Me. Do you remember Feed Me? Feed Me hasn't done a lot recently, I feel like. Or it hasn't been very big. I haven't seen them in very many live shows, like lineups or anything. But do you remember Feed Me?
Actually, I'm probably not sure. I don't think so. I don't know if I've ever heard of Feed Me.
Have you not?
You might have showed me him in the past.
I was never a huge Feed Me fan, but some of his songs was good. Some of Feed Me's songs were good. But yeah, that song, Keep the Rave Alive, sounds like a spitting image of a Feed Me song. And then back up in chapter 3, there's a song called Fade, and this is actually a drum and bass song. This is another one where he's kind of venturing out. Fade with Mike Waters. This one literally sounds like a Netsky or Fred V and Graphics song. And again, Netsky and Fred V and Graphics. Also, Camo and Crooked. Those are some of the biggest drum and bass names out there. And I used to listen to a lot I feel like I used to listen to more drum and bass several years ago, and I just haven't listened to it as much. And I feel like drum and bass is not as popular in America as maybe as it is in Europe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Do you listen to much drum and bass?
So, like I said, I know there are some people that like to listen to all sorts of bass music. I prefer bass music to be a slower BPM. I know some people like the faster BPM, up in the 140 to 170 range, where it's drum and bass or bass house or hardstyle. I don't necessarily like to listen to hardstyle or drum and bass just like when I'm just listening to music. But going to a rave, if the DJ, whoever it is like playing a bass house or a drum and bass or hardstyle song, I mean, I'll be all down for that. But in my personal like playlist on SoundCloud, I don't have many drum and bass or hardstyle songs. So
I mean, you say that, but I know for a fact that you really like Keizo, and I know that you really like Gammer. And those two tend to make music that sounds pretty similar to hardstyle.
Well, I mean, again, yeah, you're right. Like there are artists that, in my opinion, they can do a specific type of genre of music really good to where, to where I will like think to myself, you know what, this actually does sound pretty good. And Keizo, in my opinion, he does a really good job at doing hardstyle. Just like the way that he does it, whether it's I mean, his normal songs go, it has a hardstyle drop, then it goes into a trap drop or a dubstep drop, which I really absolutely love. But
it does sound different though. Like it doesn't sound like traditional hardstyle that you would hear from like Noise Controllers or Headhunters or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that Fade song is kind of more of a drum and bass. It is drum and bass. I think it was the only drum and bass song on this CD.
Yeah,
but it sounds a lot like Netsky. Those are the three. It was that the one that sounds like Feed Me, one sounds like Marshmallow, and the one that sounds like either Fred V and Graphics or Netsky. And again, that could be maybe that's an influence on Jauz, or maybe that's just something that he ventured out and tried and went for it. And I mean the songs sound good. I'm not saying that they sound like a copy. They just sound similar. And yeah. Chapter 2, Acid or Techno.
Okay.
Did you like that one?
I did not like it.
Okay. I want to talk about this song for a second because the beat, to me, the beat felt like an acid or a progressive. By the way, acid is technically an EDM genre.
I would believe it. I never heard of it, but I would believe it.
There is an EDM genre called acid.
Actually, you know what? I think I was watching a video. Like I was watching a video about different types of genres of music, and I think it was mentioned.
Yeah.
So,
and the way I understand it, acid is pretty close to. It's similar to progressive, basically. So, acid or techno, the song, it's not super hard. I would say the beat is more of an acid beat or more of a progressive beat. Mm-hmm. And then some of the sounds that are in the song, though, sound like something that you would have in a techno song. I think acid or techno is that if I can tell a big time artist that's making music and they ask me, how do I venture out? For whatever reason, they've come to me and asked me how they can venture out. I would say, do stuff like this. Like, this is kind of experimental type stuff. Because acid and techno and, like, progressive is not, it's pretty far away from bass music. Like, it's not, I mean, it has bass in it, obviously, but it's not considered under the umbrella of bass music.
Right.
And so, I like acid techno because Jauz is specifically a bass artist, and he specifically ventured out and went and looked at, excuse me, and went and attempted, well, I wouldn't even say attempt, I think he did a good job, I like that song. He went out and he worked on a progressive sounding song, and I like it. I like that one a lot. And again, it's, like we talked about last week, or sorry, 2 weeks ago, the Barely Alive CD, like that, and that is another, like, Barely Alive obviously usually does dubstep, and in that CD he's doing kind of 80s sounding music, and that's a big jump, that's a big genre jump there, and again, for some people that it might work for them, it just didn't work for me. On this occasion, though, Jauz moving from bass music to a more progressive sound, it worked for me. And yeah, like I said, I definitely like that song.
Yeah, so this is a great example of what you were just mentioning about the Barely Alive. So, um, so you like it, and then I said that I didn't like it. And this specific song kind of ties back to what we were saying about Buried Alive. When an artist, ventures out to a different genre or just goes to a different type of sound, you will have fans that will actually they will legit like it, and then you will have some fans that are not really keen to it. They don't really care for it. And this is a perfect example. Obviously you like it because Jauz specifically, ventured out and tried to make something different that he's not usually making.
Right.
To me, I think it just didn't,
it just didn't do it for you, basically.
Right. It didn't do it for me because I guess it wasn't bass music technically.
Well, and I would say to an artist that's doing that, I would say, surely you know that you're not going to please everyone, right? I mean, surely the artists know that, if they are usually doing this type of music, they venture out and do a different type of music, surely they know they're not going to please everybody with that because, not everybody's going to be expecting that.
Yeah, I hope they realize that.
I think they do. I think they do. But, I mean, with music, it's all about, and especially electronic music, it's all about exploring. And I think it's very healthy and it's very promising to see the big artists venturing out and looking at different genres and trying to create new, creating different music, looking into different music, different collabs. I think that's a good thing. It's just that, not everybody is always going to like everything you do.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree.
Are there any other songs on here that you really did like that we have missed? Because the reason I asked is because I'm about to get into my my disappointed songs.
Okay, so because I'm a dubstep fan, let's start out kind of with the dubstep songs. So going from in the prologue for Babylon with Jauz and Tisoki, and then going to Frequency in Chapter 3 with Jauz and Adventure Club. I really like those songs. I think both you and I have stated in the past, the majority of the songs that we really liked were in Chapter 4. Like I said, out of all the songs except for Back Again, I really liked every single one of them. Like Velvet Paradise, Gassed Up with him and DJ Snake, On Fire. I really like the house first drop, and then it goes to I think a trap drop. I really like that. Keep the Rave Alive, like you said, it was it sounded similar to some other artists. I forgot who you mentioned, but I really liked that sound that he did in that. And then Say Never was a good one. And then
you talking about Velvet Paradise? Was that one you were talking about?
I thought you said Keep the Rave Alive was also a different...
Oh, yeah. Keep the Rave Alive reminded me of Feed Me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I really like that one, and then also Superfly was a really, really good song.
Superfly is a good one. I think that one was released early.
Yes, I think it was too.
That was a good one. That one and Gassed Up, that will hype up crowds whenever he plays those live.
Most definitely.
Those two will definitely hype up crowds.
And I've seen him, he's put on his Instagram story, he's put both of those songs on there whenever he's doing a set, at a club or at a festival. So, yeah, he will definitely be playing those songs if you go see a set of his.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, other than those songs, obviously we have some really good collabs. We have one with Cruella, a really great song called Soldier.
You like that song?
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Okay.
Enough on that.
Another one with I don't think she is very known. But she has been to some festivals. I don't know the biggest festival that she's been to, but Jauz did a collab with Ducky called "Rave with Me," and I really like that song. Because I've seen a couple of videos of her live, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to go to one of her actual live sets and see what her set's all about. I feel like I should. I feel like Ducky would be another good up and coming DJ.
I think you're right. Ducky does have a couple of good songs, a couple of good solo songs. I forgot. I wrote down "Rave with Me," the Ducky collab. That one reminded me of what Mount Eden used to sound like.
I think I've heard of Mount Eden.
Hello?
Hey, sorry.
Did I lose you?
No, I muted my mic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that one sounded like Mount Eden to me. And Mount Eden, shout out to Mount Eden. They were one of, I think it's a guy-girl duo, maybe? I think it's a group, either way. They were one of the first, that was one of the first dubstep songs I heard, was a song by them. It's called Sierra Leone. I used to listen to that song for just like hours and hours off on end. Yeah, that song sounded like a Mount Eden song. But yeah, like you said, Ducky is definitely an up and coming female DJ, and she's kind of more future bassy.
Yeah,
like,
with like a kind of a unique sound, I think.
Yeah, she is pretty unique. Or her sound is pretty unique. Okay, I was disappointed with.
Okay, yeah. So let's hear your disappointeds.
Disappointed with the Corella song. Disappointed with there were two songs in here, and this is a gripe I have about some EDM songs. Have you ever, surely you've listened to a song, like you started at the beginning and like you click play and it starts going, and about 10-15 seconds in you start to think, oh wow, this is really pretty. 20-30 seconds in you're like, oh, this is a really pretty build up. 40 seconds in you're like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for the drop. The drop comes and it is just so disappointing. Please tell me you've heard this before.
Well, I mean, yes, but I won't mention specifically who, because I don't want to, upset any viewers or any listeners.
What, you're talking about a specific DJ that does this?
Well, no, I mean, like, there have been multiple, like, I mean, like you said, I mean, yeah, this has happened, but, I mean, there are a lot of songs, is what I'm saying.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
You don't want to get into it?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that like that group, if you know what I mean. The two guys, you know who I'm talking about?
Yellow Claw?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, sometimes Jack
also.
U does that for me also.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes Jack U's songs don't, like, it's a really pretty build up, and then it's just, oh, that's the drop. But I gotta tell you, I'm sorry if we've got Yellow Claw fans out there. And again, Yellow Claw has a few good trap songs.
They really do. They really do.
They have some good ones, but I have been.
Some of their hardstyle songs is just.
Yellow Claw?
Yeah, well, I mean, like some of them, not all of them, but like just like some.
They've got hardstyle?
Yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay, I didn't know that.
They were hardstyle, Evan.
Yellow Claw.
Yeah, Yellow Claw.
Yellow Claw is trap.
Well, they've done some hardstyle songs, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. All right, Alex's dream Yellow Claw is doing hardstyle.
Okay, let the record say that I don't listen to much of Yellow Claw, so if my knowledge of Yellow Claw is not really that good. So
well, I'm pretty sure they're most famous for doing trap.
Okay.
But there are at least 3 or 4 Yellow Claw songs that I've heard where the build-up is really, really pretty, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is really, really pretty. I cannot wait to hear this drop. And then right before it drops, I remember, wait a second, this is Yellow Claw. It's gonna be just like, bow, 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 bow. Right, it's not going to be an exciting drop, and then the song drops, and it's just a disappointment. I'm sorry, again, Yellow Claw has some good music, and I know they got a lot of fans out there. But I've been disappointed by Yellow Claw too many times. And that same feeling that I get, that same disappointment feeling that I get, I felt it twice during this CD.
Okay.
And one of the times oh no, I'm sorry, no, I only felt it once. And one of those times was on Soldier. No, okay, sorry, good gracious, I'm all over the place. I felt it twice. I felt it on Soldier, which was the Gorilla collab, and honestly, I didn't even like the build up that much on the Gorilla song, the Soldier one. But then the 2 Up Diamonds, which I think that's the first song on chapter 1. I think it's with Kiara,
something like that.
Which might actually be, I think it's a guy actually. So Kiara, well, I don't know. Anyways, so Kiara, like this song, the build up is so pretty and the vocals are gorgeous. And then it gets to the drop and I'm just disappointed. And I hate that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate listening to a song and thinking this is so gorgeous, like building up, and then I'm like, please let the drop be good. And then it just disappoints me. It just ruins the whole song. Now, granted, when I'm saving songs, if it's got a good build up, I'll still save it in my list just because I want to hear the build up again. But man, I'm sorry, it just kills the song for me whenever that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I liked both of those songs. I mean,
why did you? Okay, Gorilla has not done much since they broke up. Because Gorilla used to be 2 girls and a guy, right?
Right.
And then they broke up, and then the guy became Rain Man, I believe. And he's doing some good stuff, and he's actually collabing with big names, I think, like Selena Gomez. But, like, so now that the 2 girls, what's her name? Jahan, and what's the other girl's name? Yasmin. Jahan and Yasmin. So, ever since they broke up, just like they haven't really done it for me. And like Gorilla used to be awesome. Like they had that song Alive, and oh my goodness, I could listen to that song forever. That was like probably one of my favorite songs of whatever year that song came out. Because I was listening to that song for days. But yeah, just ever since they all broke up, it's just like, and I feel like I don't see Gorilla much either. Like I don't see him at live. Like on live show lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Gorilla has been trending down, and again, I was not a fan of this song.
Okay.
So you did like it?
Oh yeah, I liked both of those songs.
You weren't disappointed at all?
Well, like my first impression, it didn't really make me feel like that disappointed. I mean, listening to the song in full, I never got that impression of it. The drop made me feel disappointed or something like that, or anything like that. So, again, it's 2 different opinions, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
So,
those are my 2 disappointeds. I think you said you did like the second song, Babylon.
Oh yes.
I didn't like that one. Wasn't a fan. And I also wrote down number 6, Eager. Is weird.
I did not like that one.
Yeah, I mean, either that one sounded like a mix between 90s dance and a little bit of like older deep house, like old deep house, not like deep house now.
Right.
But and then like a sprinkle of future bass thrown in there. It's a weird combination. Maybe some people like that. Wasn't for me.
Same.
And I think we've gone over just about the whole thing that we wanted to go over. We have both seen Jauz. I think Jauz is one of my. We saw Jauz last year. Jauz was one of my favorite live.
That Jauz set, yeah, that was the first. That was the first time I saw Jauz, and I think that was the first set that he mentioned his new record label, Bite This or Hey Bite This.
Yeah,
I think it's just Bite This.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was really cool to see that.
Yeah, he plays music like all over. Like he plays, he gets the dubstep trap and house music, bass house, future bass, all that stuff. He goes all over the place. He's kind of like Slushy because we saw both Jauz and Slushy like one right after the other, I think, and they don't make the same type of music, but they both play around the same types of genres at their live shows.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, Jauz we need to see Jauz again. I don't know if Jauz does Jauz do his own shows, or does he only play at festivals? Do we know? I would assume he does his own shows.
He's on tour right now from his album.
Oh, is he? That shows you how much I know. So yeah, Jauz is good.
I think the first show that he did for his tour was the one that he did at Lost Lands.
Oh, really?
That started the tour off.
There is a video on YouTube about it's a vlogger did it. He I think he's either friends with Jauz or he knows Jauz somehow, and he basically did a whole a day in the life of vlog with Jauz, and it was the day that he was playing at one of the days that he was playing at EDC Vegas.
Are you talking about Syndicate?
I honestly don't know. I don't know who.
Yes, you're talking about Syndicate because I watched that video too. Syndicate is an old school YouTuber, but he's still going hard today. But go ahead, sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that's a pretty good video.
Yes, I really enjoyed that video.
So you've seen it also?
Yes, I've seen that.
Jauz seems like a pretty cool guy. I will say I did see a video once with Dylan Francis, and Dylan Francis was asked, "Who is the most dramatic DJ that you know?" or something like that. Like who's the most dramatic, or who's the biggest drama queen? And he said Jauz was. So I don't know if anyone wants to read into that. I don't feel like I've ever noticed him being a big drama queen or anything. Maybe I'm missing things, but yeah, I guess it's worth mentioning. Also, Jauz might have the coolest logo. Love that Jauz logo.
Really?
Yeah, I really like it.
What about Slenders? I thought you really liked Slenders.
Oh, yeah, Slenders is good too. I mean, I like both of them. I'm not gonna rank them though.
Okay.
Slenders is better. Shoot. You have a favorite DJ logo?
Not necessarily. I mean, I just like to look at what different kinds of logos there are. When festivals come out and they have some of the
the full lineup, you see all the logos. Yeah. That is fun. Yeah. I do like Jauz though. Slanders, I like I don't know how to describe it, but the way Slander writes their name is the long ends of the R and the beginning of the S is long. I don't know why I like that though.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
So yeah. Anything else on the Wise and the Wicked?
No, those are. I feel pretty good about all the choices that. I feel that most of these collabs they were good, and it's good for him to venture out. But again, for some of them, they weren't as good in my opinion. But again, you'll have fans that do that. Sometimes they'll like it and sometimes they won't.
Yeah, I mean it's like we said, some fans might like that, some won't. Not everybody will like every song you do. It is currently 12:40 a.m. on the Eastern Coast, Friday, September 28th, and Getter's album Visceral just released 40 minutes ago, and we have both listened to it separately, and this is the first time that we're talking about it. So, what'd you think?
I will say I liked the majority of most of these 12 tracks. There were a few I didn't really care for. Not wanting to go too specifically into each individual track. I want to say that a lot of these kind of sounded the same, in my opinion. Like, I don't know if you kind of got that feeling or that sound.
Not
really.
really.
Or that thought. But, like, I don't know, maybe some of them kind of, well, I'm not saying every single one of them sounded the same, but, like, I want to say maybe or not each one, but, like, maybe a few of the songs had kind of, like, the same idea to them, meaning sound-wise. You know what I'm trying to say?
I think I see what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. Like, I mean, some of the genres are completely different. Like, some of these songs' genres are completely different from each other.
Yeah, they are.
Are you saying that this is more of a, like, depressing sounding, like, CD?
Well, I mean, now that you mention it, I mean, I guess it could be like a depressing sound, but I didn't think of it like that at first. I mean, I'm right now. I'm just thinking that this is I know he, meaning Getter, wanted to go into a different direction of sound, and I mean, some of these songs, they sound really good, but some of them, I don't know, they just didn't really catch me.
Well, here's the thing for me. I think I would agree with you in that this is a more, like, some of the songs sound a little bit slower. It's maybe a little bit more of a sad feel. But if you think about it, a lot of music that comes out is either happy music or sad music. Like, think about pop songs, right? Mm-hmm. Most pop songs that come out and that you hear on the radio, usually they have either a happy tone or sad tone, right?
Okay.
I mean, would you agree with that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe the meaning behind the song, yeah. But again, I usually kind of listen to the song just to see, like, I don't really pay attention to the lyrics, what the lyrics are saying. I mean, sometimes I do, but I mean, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, though.
So, I've always been a believer that the songs that have a sad tone are prettier and have more thought that was put into them and have more emotion in them and more emotion that was put into making them. And I've always been a fan of sad sounding songs.
Okay.
Like you know how I'm trying to think of a good example. You know how, like, on the radio you've got songs that are like, yeah, it's gonna be a good day, yeah, da da da, like stuff like that.
Sure.
That's a new song that I heard.
It's a great song. It's gonna be a good day. Oh yeah, that's an example of a happy song.
Like it's gonna be a good life by One Republic, and
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And a lot of folk songs that just kind of have like a more upbeat tune. Like a more upbeat tune and a more upbeat lyrics, and that how like basically the lyrics are talking about, like, you know, it's gonna be a good day, you're gonna have a good life, stuff like that. I hate those songs. That probably makes me sound like a really depressing person, and I promise I'm not, but I just hate the songs that are trying to make me feel good. Yes. Okay. I don't want to listen to a song and make it force and have the song force me to try to feel good. Like, I'm listening to the song because I want to listen to the song. I don't want the song to try to force me to feel good or be in a good mood. If I want to be in a good mood, I'll be in a good mood. If I don't, then I won't.
Okay.
And I've always felt like songs that have a sad tone are prettier, and I feel like there's more emotion in the singing, in the making of the song, and all that stuff. And so I've always been a big fan of sad songs. I feel like a lot of these songs have a more not. I guess I would say a more sad tone than it's not it's not an upbeat, happy album.
Right.
It's darker and a little bit more it's a more darker album, I would say. And I like that a lot. I like it a ton. And I will say one thing. I think this is probably one of the best displays of vocal mixing that I've heard. I think, like, there was not one song where I was distracted by something with the way the vocals sounded. I thought the vocals sounded absolutely fantastic in every song, even the ones that I wasn't really a fan of. So absolutely great job on the I would say the vocal mixing. Vocal mixing of this CD was fantastic. And almost every single song has vocals in it, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Do you know off the top of your head which one was your favorite?
Yes.
All right, which one was your favorite?
So, okay. So again, most of these songs, like you were saying, they were made for a more like a sad sound kind of, and I mean, I'm all for that, but again, it's not usually my type of music to listen to. Now, granted, I mean, I did like the majority of these songs, but probably my favorite out of this would have been Solo.
Okay, yes, that was one of my favorites. And Solo actually was released before this was released. Solo was already out, if you didn't realize.
Well, yeah, like on his SoundCloud, he's like gave teasers of 3 songs: Colorblind, Solo, and All Is Lost. But like all those are teasers though, like they're under 1 minute. So at least on SoundCloud, I don't know about Spotify or anything else.
Speaking of Colorblind, my only disappointment here is that he redid Colorblind for this CD, and he made it a song without a drop. It's almost like an instrumental Colorblind, like it has no drop in it. And and the original Colorblind that he made that does have a drop, I love that song. When I figured out it was going to be on this album, I'm thinking, well, this is an automatic yes in my book, but I like the original better than this one. This one does not have it doesn't have the drop.
Right.
Kind of a disappointment for me. The good thing is, though, I think that was just about the only disappointment in my book. I have it down, I love Release. With Madoka.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, Release is gorgeous. And, Release is one of those songs where it has a really beautiful build up, and then I'm trying to think. It's kind of a it's like a slow trap drop, really. It's again, a lot of these kind of are newer sounds, and that one it's like a slow trap. That's about the only way I can describe it, really.
Yeah, I thought it was like a nice smooth drop.
It was. Release is good, and Release is very like I was singing that's what I was singing beforehand.
Mhm.
Very pretty song. All Is Lost was another one I like. Second Drop was better. This is another slight problem I had with this. Is he did that, he did his, the thing he released on YouTube, like the, what do you call it? The album,
album teaser?
The teaser, yeah. He released his teaser, which is kind of like, he just took, maybe about 15, 20 seconds from each song and kind of just mixed it together. I think he gave away too much in that teaser. I think it's almost like he almost gave away all the best parts of all the songs in that teaser.
Yeah, I think my expectations, okay, so listening to that and then listening to the full album just now, here like 20 minutes ago, I think my expectations were set a little bit higher than normal, and so maybe I got myself a little bit overhyped, and I don't know. But I mean, again, like I said, most of these songs, they're really good, but I mean, I don't know, maybe my expectations were too high for this album. I don't know.
You got the expectations up a little too much?
Yeah, I think so. Just a little bit, though.
Can't be doing that, Alex. Can't be doing that.
Well, I mean, you have to agree with me. The album teasers just sounded amazing.
Yes,
And I don't know, maybe just listening to that and then going to like listening to all 12 of these songs and then like thinking about maybe these songs, knowing that these songs were possibly meant for like a depressed kind of feeling or depressed kind of I guess sound to the song or something like that, or meaning to the song.
Yeah. I think if I could go back, I would have not listened to the teaser. Obviously, that's you can't know to not listen to something way back.
Right.
But I think maybe do what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Did you just say right like 10 times?
I thought my voice cracked like 5 times out of this.
What? Your voice cracked? No way.
I was like, right, and like the 2 times I said right, it sounded like a voice cracked or whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought it was at first. I thought it was lag. You were just like right.
Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think if I could go back in time, I would have stopped myself listening to the teaser and just said, Evan, this is future Evan speaking. This is future Evan speaking to present Evan. Evan, don't listen to the teaser. Just wait for the whole album to come out and be completely surprised. Like, don't even know what's gonna come, which is very hard to do because I'm a huge movie fan, as you know, and I know you are too. I also love trailers. Like, I love getting a little taste of what's going to come in the movie. And sometimes, though, trailers release a little too much. Like, and I know we're about to get off track a little bit here, but take Jurassic World, the Fallen Kingdom, the latest movie that came out. That trailer released, like, when the trailer came out, it showed several different, like, main dinosaurs that had not been in previous movies getting killed and eaten. And it's like, wow, you just ruined, like there's one point where
spoilers. Because I haven't seen it yet, but okay.
You haven't seen it?
No, unfortunately.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm sorry. I just haven't had time to.
All right, well then I can't even say this then.
No, go ahead. Go
well,
ahead.
my point is that sometimes trailers show too much, and then it's like, well, you watch the trailer and you're like, okay, this looks cool. You then go see the movie, and then you realize, oh, well, the trailer already showed me that, and that, and also that, and then the movie's over, and you're like, well, the trailer just ruined everything. I already knew what was going to happen, and I kind of feel like that's what the album teaser did for me on this. So I would go back in time. I would tell myself, don't listen to the album teaser. Just wait till this album comes out. But again, you gotta think, how hard would that be to do that with a movie? Like, who does that with movies now?
I mean, I've heard of several people that do that. Like they just don't watch trailers. Like I know I've gone to school and some of my classmates they've like said, yeah, I specifically don't watch trailers just so because I think they reveal too much or whatever. So I mean, I think there are people out there that don't like specifically watch trailers. Like they'll skip over the trailers or they'll just want to come into the movie until the trailers are over with, just so they don't get spoiled by anything.
Well, I'm not gonna come out and say that I'm gonna start doing that from now on with movies, but
Yeah,
I might start doing that with album releases because I think for me it ruined it a little bit. Not ruined it. That ruined is such a hard word, but such a harsh word. But it took a little bit away of what the excitement, I think, of the new music.
It exceeded your expectations. Like it didn't, like what I was saying.
Well, it didn't exceed my expectations because my expectations were raised after the trailer, quote unquote, or the album teaser, and then come to find out all the best parts. Well, most of the best parts. That's what I want to come back to. Most of the best parts were in the teaser.
Yeah.
I will say though, the second drop on All Is Lost, number 4, that was not on the album teaser. And that's a great drop. That whole song is really good. That's one of my top 3 favorite on this CD. And that's with Nothing Nowhere. I feel like I've heard of him before. I don't know if he's done other EDM or if he's more of a rapper.
Yeah, most of these people that he collabed with, I've never heard of them.
I've heard of Madoka. I'm pretty sure I've heard of Nothing Nowhere. I think those might be the only 2 though. But either way, so Release and All Is Lost, and then you said you like Solo?
Yeah, Solo I think was my favorite.
Solo has gorgeous vocals and a gorgeous build-up. I think the drop was not quite to the level of the build-up. But again, very pretty build-up and very pretty vocals. The last song is On My Way Out, another really good one with Joji, I assume that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think that's how yeah.
So that's another good one. There was only really 2 that I didn't like, and Numb and Bleed. Those are 2 that I didn't really care for. And it's nothing, it's not that, there's not really a particular reason. It's just, like when you listen to new music, it either catches your ears' attention or it doesn't. And just those were 2 that did not catch my ears' attention.
Yeah, same for me. I didn't care for, which one was it? So I didn't really care for Purgatory, along with those two.
I love Purgatory.
And
were you watching his live stream?
No, I wasn't.
So he was live streaming. He started live streaming about an hour and a half ago, and he was just going through the songs and basically. Wait a second. I really hope that okay, never mind the vocals. Okay, phew. I had the stream going on in the background. I'm really hoping that we didn't lose all this audio because the live stream's audio was on top of our audio. I think we're good though. But anyways, yeah, I was watching the live stream, and he's kind of going in depth on all the different songs, and it's very evident that he put pretty much his heart and soul into all these songs. And something else, and Getter I've come to realize over the past month, he's a very interesting person. He definitely likes collabing with people, and I feel like you and I would also enjoy collabing with other people with making music. Like there's some artists and DJs that like doing stuff on their own. And then there's some that, definitely like collabing and reaching. Like Deadmau5, I feel like Deadmau5 is more of a solo artist. Like he likes to do stuff by himself.
Mm-hmm.
But Getter's definitely one that, likes to go out and collab with other people. And again, we're talking about a lot of the people on this, a lot of the other artists on this album, like, we've never heard of. And I think that's a good thing. Like, help the littler artists, the lesser known artists, get their name out there. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say, like, obviously there's not really any hard drops on this CD, but again, he kind of warned us of that way back. So, I don't think there's any problem there. And I hope that the hardcore dubstep fans and the hardcore bass music fans can open their minds and realize, it's not all about hard drops and like super fat bass lines and all that stuff. There's plenty of other really pretty music out there, and anybody can make it, including Getter, who is known for hard dubstep.
Right.
So yeah, and like I said, there's only 12 songs on here. So it's not a huge album, but I like it, and I like the new direction that he's taking, and of course it'll be interesting to see what happens next. I will say though, I wrote down in my notes that the one you like, Solo, with Party Nails.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just calling it right now. There's going to be remixes of that song, and there's going to be a really good remix of that one. Like, he's going to have several remixes. Like, other artists there's going to be several other artists that remix that song, and I just know one of them is going to be good. Like, very, very, very catchy.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see there being multiple remixes. I mean, not just of Solo, but of some of these other songs. But yeah, I mean, I the reason why I like Solo is because I think it's the hardest, the one that goes hard, in my opinion, on this album. But yeah, I think there'll be some really good remixes from this album.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think any other notes? Do we want to get into Getter? Like, because we've actually seen Getter before. And I have to admit, I was not, excuse me, I didn't really know much about Getter before, like when we saw him last year. I mean, I knew of him, and I knew some of his music, but I don't think I wasn't super hyped for his show like I was for other artists, but I think I'd be way more hyped now if he came through town again.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, like you said, we saw him last year. I mean, I was kind of hyped for him because, because back then he was still, trying to, he was still into dubstep and all that. Again, I haven't seen him live yet until then, and just another artist that I wanted to see. So,
absolutely. And he's got a few interviews on the No Jumper podcast, and they're very, very interesting. You've heard of Sneak, right? The artist Sneak?
Maybe, I don't know, actually.
He's roommates with Sneak.
Okay.
And he seems like a really cool guy, to be honest with you. Like, he's done a house tour, and like he's kind of showed off his like his whole setup and his office and all that stuff, and he's kind of into like weird art and stuff like that. But like he seems like a really a pretty upbeat guy. But yeah, that's Getter.
Yeah, I really like Getter too.
So yeah, lots of tattoos though. What are your thoughts on tattoos? Like the sleeve tattoo? Because he says in one of his interviews he mentioned that he's got like basically 2 sleeves of tattoos, but then nothing on his face. And I think he said that he was doing that for his mom, like his mom or his parents or something didn't want any tattoos on his face. Like what are your thoughts on like sleeve tattoos like that?
Well, I mean, me personally, I don't think I would get a tattoo, but I mean, I don't have anything against tattoos, but like, I think they look cool, you know? Or like if they define what the artist like, what they their image for what they want to show their audience. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I think it's cool that each tattoo means something to the person that it's on. You know, like
Right.
usually, well, you say every single one. Usually, you can ask someone, so what does that tattoo mean? And they can tell you exactly what it means. You know, what does that one mean? And I'll tell you exactly what it is. I think that's cool. But, I don't know. I just am like 100% sure that if I got a tattoo, like the next day I would just instantly regret it. Or if not the next day, then the day after that. That's just
I don't know.
my thoughts. But anyways, that is Visceral. Any other comments on that, or our getter or tattoos?
No, I think this album was really good. I really like the sound of most of the songs. Again, I'm more of a hard kind of bassy person, but some of these songs they're really good. I liked how melodic and I guess ambient they were. Some of them did sound really, really good.
Ambient?
I think a couple of them were.
I could maybe see that. Yes, well, some of them didn't even have a beat. Didn't even have a drop or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah. Again, I just have to reiterate the vocals in all of these songs are just gorgeous. Gorgeous vocal mixing, I'd have to say. So that will do it, I think, for this episode. We have some plans for our next episode, possibly an interview, and it might be someone who's not really an EDM fan. With this being an EDM podcast, that might not make any sense, but I think we can have some fun with him. I think we might play some games with him and see what happens. So that will be in 2 weeks from now. This episode is being released Sunday, September 30th, and then the next episode will be October 14th, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know, like, we've been doing these album reviews. I don't know if this is what we're going to continue to do for every episode. I think, like, it's just getting to the point where there's going to be so much. Like, so many CDs, songs, singles, albums, everything released, that, again, it's going to be impossible for us to review everything. And I think, to an extent, like, people are going to want to hear other things. Like, if we can get an interview going with an actual DJ, that would be fantastic, because I feel like that would really get the attention that would really get, listeners' attention. And it would be, definitely interesting.
Right.
And plus, it's another perspective. I know we have some shows coming up, so what I want to do is, after we go to a rave or a show and we come back to the next episode, I want us to give, like, a full review, who we saw, what happened, like, how was the venue, all that stuff, what music was played, and, just, like, basically the whole experience. And then, that's kind of what we've got coming up in the future. And of course, I think we're gonna try keeping up with, all the latest EDM news and keeping up to date with all that stuff, and I guess, kind of just like making light of any big stories that happen. And yeah, again, like, it's a young podcast, it's a young show. We're still kind of playing it by ear, but I think we're figuring things out.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that will do it. Anything else, Webev?
No, nope. No,
Are you going to get a microphone anytime soon?
I mean, I don't know, maybe, possibly.
Do we need to start like a GoFundMe for you or something?
I mean, if you want to. I mean,
all right. Well, You heard it here first. Next time we podcast, WebEv will have his own microphone. Absolutely great.
100% confirmed.
100% confirmed. All right, everyone, have a good rest of your evening or day or night or morning, whatever it is.
See y'all.
Searching just to find absent inside this skin disguise. My shell has become a